What up folks, Graphics Rogue here, and I got another Rome 2 online battle for you. I'm going to be playing as Rome and my opponent will be playing as Carthage. And today we fight in the Forest of Death. See you there. And welcome folkadokes all. Welcome to the glorious battlefield. Welcome to the danger zone, where my forces will be hidden here in the forest. I plan on my whole legion to be hidden deep within the forest, dragging my Carthaginian foes deeper into the unknown, while I set up glorious ambushes for them. Or they try to ambush me, but I kind of distract them from it. So my opponent is going to have 4 African pikemen, a few Carthaginian hoplites, some Libyan peltasts, a sacred band, African war elephant unit, and he's got his general. Of course, he's already sending some of his cavalry around. He's got like, I think about 3 or 4 cavalry units, and he sent them around to try to flank my units, but he didn't know I had some units over here. So he thought it was too late to try to pull them back, so he just went ahead and charged in. But that was not a good idea, because not only did I have my cavalry units, I also have 3 gladiator spearmen ready to take them on. And as I can see here, some more of his cavalry units have shown themselves in the forest. They're about to be hidden again, but he's got some cavalry units doing a hard flank around. He wants to get completely behind my units so he can give my general and the back of my legionary cohorts a right good smacking in the behind. I brought some evocati cohorts, some praetorian guards over here somewhere, some triarii, some auxiliary slingers and Balearic slingers and auxiliary Syrian archers to go up against their elephants, because I knew if I needed some archers to get some fire arrows going so I can berserk his elephants. And he's now starting to send his elephants in. He's gonna want to try to help with this cavalry engagement, but he sent in too few cavalry and they weren't backed up with enough people. And I'm sending some of my gladiator spearmen around because I just want to completely encircle these Carthaginian cavalry. He's got the rest of them, the enemy cav, circling around here because he wants to hit me in the back. But my flanking defenders, my cavalry, and my gladiator spearmen, are going to do everything they can to try to defend against those kind of assaults. So what it looks like he's trying to do, he's trying to get me in a, hit me from both sides in a spear formation, in a V formation. He's going to hit his pikemen over here, and he's going to get the rest of his units to start smacking up here, and then he's just going to wrap me up in a bow. His plan is to get me bogged down in that bow with his pikemen and his hoplites, because he doesn't really have much killing power. All his killing power is in his cavalry and in his elephants and Libyan peltasts. As you can see here, he's already beginning to get ready for a nice flanking maneuver here. And I wasn't paying attention that much to it, so I wasn't properly defending my general. That's going to come back to bite me in a bit. But he's already sent his elephant units over here, but I saw them just in time to get my archers to fire arrow some of them. I killed a couple of them, but not enough of them, but they're already starting to berserk. But unfortunately, they're starting to berserk into my units. And he's already sent his 2 more of his cavalry units to try to smash into my units over here to try to get us off of his other cav unit, but it was too late, and that other cav unit got routed a while ago. But now these guys are starting to rout. I'm routing the rest of his cavalry. And what he's got already, he's smashing his elephants into my cav, and that's starting to rout them. But now he's starting to send his cavalry units to smash them right into the back of my general. And I don't notice this in time, and my general gets really hurt. Don't think he dies, but he gets a mad smash into the back there. Devastating. And I try to pull him out, but they get bogged down. So I'm going to try to send some Praetorian Guard to help defend my general, try to get him out of this predicament he's in. But really, they've only got one cav unit left. They have another cav unit, but they will come back from routing. One of them will, but they're so weakened, so they're not going to be much of a much help in the rest of this battle. So I've devastated his elephants pretty bad, and they're still berserking, but they're berserking into my lines, which is bad. I've been trying to knock out some of his missile units here, but they just start bashing in with their Carthaginian hoplites and start attacking my units. And they've got in square formation there. I believe I tried to attack them with some cav units, or maybe I'm about to. But he's pulling them out of square formation. I had to pull my what missile units I have left back, and I'm still smacking some of these guys with my fire arrows here, trying to weaken up these Carthaginian hoplites. I'm pulling my missile units back because I don't want to get them bogged down in a fight where they're just going to die. I start to throw all my flanking units, all my cav and all my spearmen onto this elephant unit, and I'm getting killed a lot, but I need to avoid having this elephant unit run into the backs of my units over here. So he's now started to smash into my infantry lines with his hoplites, and he's pressing in against my Evocati cohort over here with his African pikemen. But I keep moving my units back, just like right now. There we go. I keep moving my units back because I don't want them to get needlessly killed by these African pikemen, because they're only here to hold me back. I don't want to get needlessly killed, or them to have unnecessary kills on my guys, period. Because they're the holding power, they're not the killing power. And these guys aren't the killing power either. My killing power will too be in my cavalry, which I swing around and will try to smash into the backs of his lines. But he's routed some of my units here. Yeah, legionary cohort got routed because they were just completely surrounded. And some of my units here are just getting sandwiched in by these pikes. They're getting surrounded, and I wasn't paying enough attention. They keep moving up, and I keep moving back whenever I can. What have we got over here? We got the last of the elephants, and they are getting knocked out by the remaining missile units over here. And here we go. Boom. And that is the end of their African elephants. They devastated me pretty hard, but I managed to keep them away from the main lines, and they never got out of berserk formation. What left of their cavalry is starting to try to run down my auxiliary Syrians, but they are trying to run from them. But they don't have much left, just 20 cavalry left. They still have their general units and 2 Libyan peltists, but they are quickly becoming outnumbered. And I am cutting down his hoplites. His hoplites are nothing to my Praetorian Guard, and even my Evocati cohorts. Hoplites are good defensively, but eventually they will get worn down by legionaries, by most Roman units. And pikemen can hold out a long time from the front, but get them in the back and they'll just melt like butter. So yeah, there we go. As we can see, some of their Carthaginian hoplites are already beginning to run. We got held up in a lot of sandwiching positions over here, but I'm starting to smash these guys in the back over here when they tried to hit my guys. The Libyan peltists got far too deep in, but we caught them up. Now we're trying to bring back my missile units closer to the front to help out, but the battle is nearly won here. Most of their Carthaginian hoplites are beginning to rout. The Libyan peltists are beginning to rout. Our legionary cohort is getting eaten up here by the African pikemen, just smashing them from both sides. But there's not much more they can do here, because I'm quickly outnumbering them devastatingly. And I'm finally getting some my guys caught up on their generals, which he must not have been microing in that area perfectly. Because neither was I, because we're both fighting in the forest, and it's pretty hard to see everything of what's going on in these forests. And they are all beginning to rout. He's got a couple African pikemen who are lasting a pretty long time. And where's his sacred band? Yeah, they lasted a long time. Sacred band lasted a while, but even they couldn't hold up to the devastating numbers I was smashing on to all around them. And when the sacred band run, the rest of the Carthaginians know the jig is up. The general is run, the elephants are done with. Soon these African pikemen will run. They're absolutely exhausted. My legionnaires are victorious this day. Glory be to Rome, of course. So, yeah, what was the problem here? What did my opponent do wrong? He put out a pretty good force, I think, because this is a good force that would be a holding hammer and anvil force. The hoplites and pikemen, they can hold for a while. They're good defensively. His killing power was in his elephants and his cavalry and his Libyan peltis, which he protected for a while from me. But he got him a little too far caught up into the forest after a while. He just, it's hard to see in that forest, so he lost track of him. But what the main problem was, he sent ahead his cavalry, trying to hide him in the forest. He didn't know where my cavalry was. But he got them too separated, and they got caught up by my forces. And they weren't backed up with any forces. I had my cavalry backed up with gladiator forces, on the assumption that he was going to send his cavalry forth, and I was going to send my cavalry to try to face his with backup of the gladiator spearmen. So I was planning on taking out his flanking forces, so I can then sweep around and knock out his defending forces from the back. These hoplites and African pikemen, they're great defensively, but they're not killers. The Peltis cavalry and the African war elephants were the killers. He tried to back up his cavalry with the war elephants, but it was too late, and their guys were already separated and bogged down. He should have kept them together, and he should have backed them up with another unit of maybe hoplites or maybe that spear band, that sacred band. And if he had just wiped out my my flanking force, he could have sent his Libyan peltis. They would have slaughtered my missile units. Balearic slingers are good, but they get slaughtered by the Libyan peltis. He could have just focused fired on each of them, taken them out easily. Then take out my flanking forces. Then he would have just had his way with my gladiators and my legionaries. So that's what he should have done. Always back up your flanking forces. Always back up your cavalry with some infantry and with something that you know can help them win the fight. Just don't leave them out there alone and scattered. So, I am your graphics rogue. That was a fine battle. I fight this opponent again 2 more times. I'm going to show those battles too. Those are really good, informative battles, I think, on a couple of factions, on how to attack and defend with certain factions. And I'm going to show those again in the next couple of videos with this opponent, great opponent, Joel Babette. So that's what I'll be showing you next time. I'm Graphics Rogue. Peace.